Look at everybody. So beautiful day here right now in Les Arbres, and I'm still wearing GGR because we're still finishing filming for the documentary, and it's just finished, but I didn't have time to get my shirt off. So yeah, sun's come out and looking a little bit like spring. Anyway, lots of funny things, strange things going on with the tracker right now, and not a lot to talk about. If you're following the tweets and Brian's daily update. I've got to say, I'm waiting for Brian, and he watches this sometime, to send me pictures of all the covers of his numerous books and a bit of a 1 or 2 paragraph brief on each of the books, because we want to get you to buy his books, okay? And so be ready. You know how he writes and what he talks about. He's got some interesting yarns, and the books. I haven't, I've seen a couple of them, but I haven't read all the others. And I'm encouraging you now to start saving your pennies or your dollars or your euros or your francs or whatever it is. And please buy his books. But Brian, if you're watching this, give me the cover pictures for your books and the description of what they are. And I'm sure you'll have hundreds of people are going to just flock towards your books. Okay. So let's get into that. Anyway, right now we're going to go straight to the. I've got to turn my mouse on. One that's not working. Jeepers, what's happened there? Oh, jeepers, something's gone haywire. What the? Oh, jeepers, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, I think you're still here. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go straight to the. I lost the screen completely then as I turned my mouse on. Crazy. All right, straight into the tracker, and let's have a look at what's going on here. There we go. So the speeds have been crazy, and in fact, I'm just going to have a look here. Galiana, some of them were only doing like a few knots, but anyway, it looks like they're all going normal now. Okay, so I'll just put the grids on. So we've got Explorer here, back end of the fleet as usual, but doing 6.3 knots now, sailing down the run line. That's unusual. That's pretty cool. And only 5,000, just under 5,000 miles to go. It was White Shadow and stuff that were going nowhere. 3.4 and Triana 3.9. Okay, at least they're moving. Sorry, I'm just playing it with myself there because some of them have just been sitting there going nowhere. Anyway, all right, so Explorer's underway, and that's good, with 4,988 miles to go and did a 98-mile day. Arch Rival over here, Sterner, is doing 5.8 knots, did a 117-mile day. They've done really well. And they're 4,897 miles, about 100 miles ahead of Explorer. And then White Shadow, heading out to the east, they have been sitting in a hole. They're still only doing 3.4 knots and only did a 69-mile day. So they're only now about 150 miles in front of Explorer. Ooh, jeepers, getting hot. And Triana, the back end of the fleet, this is unheard of. So they'll be spitting chips. If they're listening to the radio, they'll be saying, why me? Why me? Why can't we get out of this? So they're sailing very slow and they're usually fast. So you've got to say it's got a lot to do with the weather. So Explorer's only a couple of 100 miles behind them, which is Explorer's flying. So they'll be really frustrated. A 59-mile day at the back end of the fleet. Not a good look when they're after IRC. But anyway, so be it. Galiana with Securus finally doing 4.8 knots, 104-mile day. And then Evrika, right up there with the best of them. Very close to Spirit of Helsinki even. 6.6 knots, and they've managed a 119-mile day. Neptune is now 5.9 knots and a 127-mile day. Here's where it gets interesting. Translated 9, about to pass Spirit of Helsinki at 5.1 knots, and they did a 129-mile day. And there's Helsinki. She stalled out. She's only done 87 miles in the last 24 hours and only doing 4.7 knots. So it's really, as we were saying before, there's all these localized situations that are really playing havoc with the fleet because it's inconsistent. It's not the same across the board. And that's really creating winners and losers all over the place. Maiden, 5.7 knots, 127-mile day. Not too bad. But check out L'Esprit de Keep. Jeepers. They're doing 7.1 knots They've made 133-mile day. They're first in IRC, second in line honours, and first in flyer class. You tell me. They'll be jumping up and down. I'm sure they know that they're right ahead of the fleet. They won't know the exact numbers, but that's very impressive. How long can that last? It's hard to say. I was looking at it because before thinking about this, because Penjuic's only doing 6.5, so they're doing 7.1. The conditions should be similar there. Penjuic's done 147, but I think what's happening here is there'll be similar conditions, but the Esprit de Keep's probably lighter and able to maybe, I don't know, they're keeping up really well. Maybe lighter, maybe they're set for their optimum performance. They've got a shorter rig than the original Esprit de Keep. They're probably getting 10 to 15 knots and probably healing the boat, get the less wetted surface area, whereas Penjuic is very much a heavier displacement boat. Yes, it's got the waterline length, but it might, this is just ideal conditions for the Esprit de Keep. Alongside Penjuic, they're actually gaining. So as soon as the wind kicks in, though, you lose that advantage. It doesn't matter whether you've got less wetted surface and, because Penjuic will have heaps more power. So it'll start sailing away. So this is a short-lived experience, I'm sure, but super frustrating for the fleet. Great for Explorer because they're not letting them get away. Explorer over here, tacking up to windward, actually has a bit more breeze. As you can clearly see, there's more breeze over on the west of the course, even though it's headwinds. So on the one hand, I'm saying, Explorer, get out of there. You've got to get out of there because obviously the breeze is here. You can see there's a bit of a trade wind coming from the east or whatever. But as soon as it hits the coast, it does a 90-degree turn and comes down to wind, from the north, which means you've obviously got to be tacking up here. So it's not normally the best. But having said that, the guys out to the east are falling in holes and tripping over themselves. So it's a catch-22. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But anyway, all interesting stuff. And the fleet's still in touch with everyone else. So what's going to happen to the weather now? Well, you can see the trade winds. First of all, there's no South Atlantic high again. Nothing here. It's all these stupid things, just crazy, just all mixed up. And that's created a weak trade wind just at the very top here by Recife and everything. They should have all been in trade winds by now, but they're just not there. And they're only now, Penjuic and the Esprit de Keep are reaching the bottom edge of what could be considered the southeasterly trades. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be the first in, and if they get a full day jump, it's going to bode well for the Esprit de Keep. And if the doldrums come in late, they might squeak through, because you can see now, if they were up there now, you wouldn't even stop. If you were here, you just go from one transition to the other and you're straight across. But we know on the 21st, which is about when they're going to get there, these doldrums will open up. In fact, I can show you that now. There's the 19th starting to open up on the 20th. There it is. The 21st is getting bigger and bigger. So, not too bad. So that's the thing with the trade winds. Yeah, with the doldrums, there's going to be a bit to battle through. But what's it going to do with the weather now? We're back to real-time weather. And let's see what happens generally. If I go up one, it might be too big. No, that's not too bad. We'll do it there, and I'll roll the weather through now so you can see what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. So coming through, more big light winds. But look at Penjuic and the Esprit de Keep. They're running right on the edge of the start of the trades. It's coming from the east, so they're going to be beam reaching. So I think they're in. I think the first one's home, first one's into the trades, and are going to start sailing away is L'Esprit de Keep and Penjuic. Maiden's right on the edge there, but I think this is in the next 12 hours, these light trade winds from the east are coming down onto the top of the fleet. So here we are coming up to 24 hours. So this is, it's a bit light, and it fluffles off again. Okay, so they're going to have a bit of a kick for about 12 hours in the middle, but then it's going to get them up here, but it's going to be light again. But I think L'Esprit de Keep and Penjuic, they're going to be up here and going. So they've got the break on the rest of the middle of the fleet. And down the bottom here, Triana and White Shadow and Sterner and Explorer, they're going to be stuck in this lot again. So, and this mid fleet's going to pull away a little bit. That's in the first 24 hours anyway. Then moving along, it's still light, but the trade winds are there. They're coming around to the northeast by the look of it. which makes it a bit harder, but it's very light at the bottom end. So there we go, 2 days out. So there's 2 days out, and it's still light, and struggling. But I think you're going to see another break. It's going to separate into three. L'Esprit de Keep and Penduic are going to be moving away. The middle fleet's going to be moving, and the tail enders are going to be struggling. This four down here, which includes Triana, which is amazing. They're going to be struggling. You're going to see a bigger gap open up in the next 2 days. So, to the leaderboard, handicap, line honours, Penduic, L'Esprit de Keep, right on top of it. Maiden, Spirit of Helsinki, translated 9. Outlaw, and so it goes down the line of Rika, Neptune, Galliana with Secure, way down the back there. The big one on IRC. Okay, forget about Outlaw for a bit. But I'm not sure. We've got some issues here, and basically what's happened, we've discovered a few little other problems for the individual legs, 1, 2, and 3, where penalties were applied with Yellow Brick. That's being brought up as an issue, and it's being clarified now, I think. So that's coming back online. But this leg 4 looks okay, I believe, but we'll have to. It's all provisional, and I think. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's better now. IRC from the start. Okay, so we've got L'Esprit de Keep is running first in 57 days, 8 hours. About 12 hours behind that, you've got translated 9, and then about a day and 10 hours or something. You've got Galliana with Secure, then Outlaw, then Penduic, and so it goes down the line. Maiden behind there, then Evrika, Triana way down the line. That's amazing. So and so it goes, Sterner and White Shadow, and then Explorer. So Sterner is in front of White Shadow. That's pretty cool. I'll be happy with that. All right. So I think that's. I just want to look at the currents, because when I saw Explorer still tacking in there, I thought, what are you doing in there? There's currents in there. I missed it. Okay. Only Sterner hooked up there. We've just been tacking just outside the currents, and the rest of the stuff here is in the clear. So that's interesting for me to know. Clouds, are they having sunny days? Bit of a mixed bag, but yes, generally sunny. Temperature should be getting hotter now. Yep, getting up into the very high 20s. They could be into the 30s soon. So it'll be shorts and t-shirts, and trying to keep the water out of the boat, and keep the hatch shut, and try to get some air. All right, I think we're done with that, and let's go back here and quickly have a grab at what's going on. Say g'day. So yeah, quite amazing. Nearly 2 weeks out, and they've been averaging about 110, 120 miles a day. So Kathleen, Larry, by America Theatre, rounding the world also as OGR is in BA Port. Okay. America, I don't know that one. Okay, go Rob. Around the world, I've got a few of those. Thanks for Sailing Revival. Yeah, it's cool. We're enjoying the whole thing here. We're all in the office now, and it's fun to watch what's going on. And Pat Lawes, g'day Pat. Happy St. Patrick's Day the other day. It's also the birthday yesterday of this guy here, boom, boom, Sue Haley, Sir Robert Knox Johnson. He's 85, and I would hate to have a running race against him. He's fit as. So happy birthday for yesterday, Sir Robin. And yeah, quite instrumental in everything that's happening right here with the OGR, even because the GGR, the original Golden Globe, was the very first real race around the world, and that started the idea of the first fully crewed race, the Whitbread, and Robin was active in both, of course. Won the Gold Globe and sailed many times in the Whitbreads, the early Whitbreads, and so it goes, So quite an inspiration in his own way, and privileged to call him a friend, and very grateful and thankful for all the support that he's given Jane and I on all our events. It's fantastic. So happy birthday, Sir Robin. Okay, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see how they're going getting through these patchy places. See you later.